So I will not be able to play Evil Within 1 again until Sunday, okay? So how was it received? Well, viewership was up for sure on the stream. It wasn't sky high, but there was a few more people here than usual. You know, and support was pretty good on the stream, I would say. It wasn't amazing. We didn't hit like the tier 2 goal for tips or whatever, but it was decent. You know, I'm not going to complain at all. I wasn't expecting much for a game that I've already played once. This is my replaying of it and stuff like that. Views on YouTube so far, not great. But again, it's a game that I've already played, so I'm not shocked at this. Maybe over time it'll get a little bit more traction as people realize I'm playing it, but we'll see, okay? But now let's talk about last night, all right? We have to have a serious discussion about the future of Multiversus on my streams and in my content, all right? Before I even get to how last night went, what I like to do is give you my overall opinion on Multiversus. I really like the game. And this is coming from someone who doesn't play what's considered a platformer fighter, the Smash Brothers style fighting game. I usually don't play. When I play it, it'll usually just be Smash Brothers, and it'll be like a couple weeks after release, and that's it. Usually I'll play like a campaign, a little bit of online, and I drop it, and that's the end of it. I usually don't have interest in these kind of games. But for some reason, Multiversus piqued my interest. A unique combination of characters, a lot of which are from my childhood, and some of which are from more modern things that I've played or watch. And I really like the fact that they put a lot of production value and effort into the game. The game looks good. The game plays well. The game has tons of cool music, unique voice acting from people who actually voice these characters in cartoons and other forms of media. It just feels like this is a game that's been getting tons of support and backing from the company that makes it. That's a great thing. You know, take a look at Nickelodeon All-Stars that came out last year. The game came out and it flopped miserably and no one really liked it. This is kind of the polar opposite. The game has viral popularity still. They're adding new characters pretty much on a bi-weekly basis, and the game is getting constant content updates to make it rebalanced and more interesting and entertaining. So I like it. I absolutely positively like this game a lot. I whiffed twice, standing right next to him. Again, whiffed 3 times in a row. Can't hit me. He just mashes up bag and hits me a million times. See? Yeah, it's just laggy bullshit. It's fucking trash gameplay, man. Fucking laggy nonsense. Get the fuck out of here. You guys suck shit. As you've seen, I've played it at least once a week, if not, when I could, 2 times a week over the last 2 to 2.5 months that the game has been out. All right? And I have seen varying levels of success for this game. Some nights I'll play it and attendance is up and people are engaged and having a great time. Maybe if there's a new character, we're all talking about said character, support is good. Then all of a sudden I'll do a stream and views will be down. People will be completely disengaged, not talking about the game at all, not even interacting with me, like ignoring me as I'm playing the game. Support is non-existent. And I hate to say it, but Multiversus has kind of been like that. It's kind of like really good, terrible, really good, terrible. And when I get differing levels of feedback from my audience, I don't know how to accept that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I should say, okay, maybe it's just a bad night, or maybe this is a pattern. You know what I'm saying? Now, every time I play Multiversus, I also get a mixed reaction from you guys in the chat. Like, for example, right now, some people are like, well, you know, Multiversus is boring. And then others are like, no, I like Multiversus. And it's like, well, the thing is, I don't know what to do about this, all right? You know, I like the game a lot. I'm treating it as if it's a real fighting game, which a lot of people say it's not. Oh, it's a party game or it's a Smash Brothers knockoff. You should just play Smash. I do think those are kind of ignorant attitudes, very close-minded. This game is trying with a ton of effort to pick up where Smash has left off, especially because Smash is done. They're not going to be updating Smash anymore with new characters or content. There has to be something to take its place, and this seems like it's the game that's going to take its place. And you guys have been asking me for years, no exaggeration, to play another fighting game. You said, Phil, play another fighter because we're tired of old school fighting games. Every Friday night, do something different. So in the last 2.5 months, I made an actual concerted effort to try to learn this game, and is the most popular fighter right now. It just is. It's the most popular fighting game right now out. More people are playing and watching this game than any other fighting game. The money. Show me the money. But sadly, I'll be honest with you, it's been 2.5 months. I like the game, but I think that it's kind of completely waned in interest with my audience. Case in point, last night. So last night, I made it clear to everyone. I didn't have enough in-game currency to buy a new character yet. We're trying to grind to get the currency to buy Rick Sanchez from Rick and Morty. He's 3,000 coins. All right? I started out 2 nights ago with like only 1,000 coins. And I started last night with about 2,000. By the end of the night, we had 2,700. So I didn't get enough, to buy the character. I played with the characters that I like. Bugs Bunny, Velma. I had a good time. In fact, I had some really good wins. There was this one case, we were behind. And the time was running out. And I was Bugs Bunny, and I had the safe drop. And I did this crazy, charged mallet swing. And I hit the safe up at an angle. And as the enemies were flying out of the sky, it hit them both and eliminated them both at the same time. It was a double elimination. And because of that, we won the scoring as the time ran out. It was like, oh my God, that's so crazy cool, right?
No, shut the fuck up.
So as a competitive game, the game holds up, all right? And I'm still having a ton of fun playing this game. Here's where I think this game is failing with my audience. I'm going to be honest. I think that the money is needed. Number one, the game doesn't have enough variety in what it does. And what I mean by that is, it has the same, 8 stages, something like that it's been cycling through since 2.5 months have passed. Yes, they're adding new characters every 2 weeks or so, and that's a good thing. But at this point, when we go online, how often do we see the same characters over and over? People have basically become noob-friendly with this game. You're always going to see a Shaggy, a Harley Quinn, a button-mashing Superman. You see what I'm saying? Like, what happens with these kind of games is you have people who actually actively try to learn them and learn the characters, like me. Then you have people who I just want to go online and mash buttons and lag and win. And it basically becomes incredibly boring because you see the same shit over and over and over. And yeah, I would say, no exaggeration, 80% of the time I'm playing online, we're seeing the same characters because the people just pick the same shit over and over. They don't want to learn the game. They just want to button mash and hope to get cheap eliminations. So I totally understand in that regard. Like, if the game had tons of variety and stuff, maybe you'd like it better. And it doesn't. It's kind of repetitive in that way. Also, I'm going to be honest here. The connections are 50-50 right now. Sometimes you'll play a match, and it's really good and responsive, in which case I'm able to play well. I get the crazy double elimination like I did last night with Bugs Bunny. Then another time I go to play, and the characters are teleporting all over the screen. Blatantly, you could see attacks passing through people's bodies, no hit detection. So what's going to happen? I'm going to get pissed off and rage. I always get pissed off and rage at laggy online games. You guys know that. It's not a shtick. It's genuine rage when I can't play a game online in 2022. Okay? So, yeah. And I think what happens is it gets tiring to see that half the time I'm kind of angry because the game is not running well online. You know what I'm saying? Now, the funny part is you guys have people saying, play with members, play with viewers. Who cares? It doesn't matter if I'm playing the game with members, viewers, or by myself. It's the same game. All right? All that's going to do is bring in a smaller extra handful of people, maybe 5 new people a week, 10 new people a week to every time I play the game. It's negligible. People who say that shit are people who just want to play with me. I'm not dumb, okay? So, no, that's not going to change anything. It's just not. Do a fan lobby. Why? So we can have even more laggy connections because that's what happens, right? When the game is doing its open matchmaking, it's trying to actively find the best connection and throw you in it. When you're matching with members and viewers, now you're forcing yourself to team up with people from all over the globe with bad connections to you. I know, I've done it before. I'm not stupid. It would lag to shit and it would be a waste of everyone's time. I'm not dumb. So, essentially, there's not much more I can do with the game besides continue to play it, learn it, get better at it, and unlock new characters when I can and play as them and get better with them. That was working for 2.5 months. But last night kind of was the most disappointing stream I've ever done of Multiversus. Here's why.
Money.
They said to me, Phil, why don't you play other fighting games outside of old school Street Fighter? We would like to see you play another fighting game and learn it competitively and do that. And I said, no, you don't. And people were like, no, we do. We want to see you play anything but old school Street Fighter because this is what you play all the time. And I keep telling people, no, you don't want to see that. I know you don't. Because I know my audience. And I know that if I actually put in the grind, the time, the effort to learn another game, another franchise, it takes a while. It's not something that can happen like this. It's not something that can even happen in a week. It's something that takes weeks to months. Once you play it for several months and you've seen the matchups and you see the abilities of the characters and you start learning how the online components work, then all of a sudden in about 2 to 3 months, now you can start to get a little bit better at a game. And then it clicks, oh, here's, competitive nature of the game or whatever. All right. And that's the thing. People say they want that, but then if they got it, they wouldn't want it anymore because it's too time consuming. There's a repetitive nature to the online grind of these games. And you will see the same characters over and over. You will see the same strategies over and over. You know what I mean? It's just going to become to the point where, okay, this isn't very interesting anymore. And that's where we are now with Multiversus. This is exactly my case in point here for what I've been saying all along. It wouldn't have mattered if I played Injustice or Tekken or Guilty Gear or any other franchise. Once you get to about this point in a game, you've kind of seen almost everything. And now it becomes about nuance. The nuance of gameplay. Did you perfect this strategy? Do you have this combo down? Do you understand the way to avoid the abusive nature of a certain character? It's about nuance. When you get to nuance levels in a game that's competitive, only a certain audience cares, and the vast majority of people who are my audience don't. Right? Let's be honest here. Everyone, raise your hand right now if you're someone who watches me because you are interested in seeing me master a game competitively and actually become good at it. Okay, I can't see your hands. I don't know why you always do that. So, that's the thing. Like, I would love to keep playing it. But now I have to look at it from a streaming standpoint. From a streaming standpoint, attendance is down. Engagement is incredibly low. No one's watching the videos when I upload them. And support is also slow and bad on those streams for the most part. Not every time. Every once in a while, I'll be playing Multiversus and all of a sudden, a bunch of people will come in and start contributing last minute. I'm like, huh? This has happened a few times where, like, I guess there are people who really like Multiversus, but they just can't show up to every stream. And then all of a sudden they show up and start supporting. And I'm like, whoa. So I guess there really are some people who like this game, But can I really keep playing this game long-term, reliant on whether or not some random person will show up and support it out of nowhere? Not really. Please, guys, I need you to help as much as you can if you want to see me continue to be a content creator for YouTube as well as a live streamer, and you want to see the playthroughs continue, the 10-year legacy continue, you've got to please step up and contribute if you can.